Shalom. Call Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachak. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, I'll read this quick caption. This video is from ABC News Live. It says, a new app allows users to text with Jesus, it says, or talk to the Bible using artificial intelligence and chatbots to offer spiritual guidance. So, of course, there's a lot to say about this. I'm going to do my best to keep it brief and right to the point. I do want to get through this entire video because it is good from start to finish. So let's listen to it, and then, of course, we'll grab some corresponding precepts.
An AI hotline to heaven for users interested in strengthening their religious faith. The apps allow you to text with Jesus or talk to the Bible using artificial intelligence and chatbots to offer spiritual guidance to users who are looking to connect with a higher power. It's part of a rising trend of faith-based digital technologies that's creating a slippery spiritual slope within the church community. Father James Martin, along with Mark Graves, a research director on AI and faith, join me now for a prayerful conversation. Gentlemen, it's so great to have both of you. So, Father Martin, your first thoughts when you learned about these apps?
Really the app is linking you to Bible passages, with quotes from Jesus, which is fine. I mean, I think if that helps you to get in touch with what Jesus said in the Bible, I think that's all well and good, as long as you know, obviously, that you're not texting with Jesus.
You believe, Father, there's risks of you using AI to, quote, text with Jesus versus kneeling down in prayer with the Lord?
I think it depends on the person. I think most believers understand that you're not texting Jesus when you fire up your phone. I think if they get a little bit more sophisticated, it might be difficult for people who may not be as savvy about those things. But I think most people can make the distinction between texting a real person and, getting some AI chatbot to spit back quotes from the Bible at you. But if it helps you feel closer to God, then why not?
Okay, so Mark, what do you think? More spiritual positives here or an increase of mental risks?
Well, I see the risk. I mean, I certainly appreciate anything that can help a person to explore the Bible more and learn more. But I'm also thinking, there's a lot of people like to have a decision. I mean, used to you'd like, just let the Bible fall open and look at a verse. And so I think people will read more into what's coming out of the bot than we hope that they would.
So, Mark, on that note, the American Psychological Association did come out and feels that these types of chatbots can, and here's the quote, act as powerful amplifiers of pre-existing vulnerabilities, including reinforcing delusional thinking and becoming an unhealthy substitute for human connection. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think there is a risk there. And I think even in the phrasing, when you bring up the bot, it says, I am Jesus. Well, I mean, that's a pretty strong statement that's going to have an impact on people, especially if they're trying to find Jesus. So I would be more comfortable if it was, trying to help somebody find out more about their faith than actually pretending to be, God.
An AI
like
hotline.
I said, I know it was kind of long, but I thought the whole thing was good, especially the very end. The dude hit it on the head. He said, pretending to find God. And that's exactly, or pretending to be God, whatever he said. That's exactly what this app is. And there's so many things that you can touch on with this. I'm not going to get into everything, obviously. They touched on the mental health side, the potential to enhance pre-existing disorders and so on and so forth. But there were two things that really caught my attention. The first is that the whole purpose of this is to offer spiritual guidance. The second is that in the very beginning right here, she said, this is a part of a rising trend in faith-based digital technologies. That's what she said. Let's listen to the very beginning again.
into heaven for users interested in strengthening their religious faith. The apps allow you to text with Jesus or talk to the Bible using artificial intelligence and chatbots to offer spiritual guidance to users who are looking to connect with a higher power. It's part of a rising trend of faith-based digital technologies.
Trend in faith-based digital technologies. Now, prior to this video, I never heard of that phrase ever. Didn't even know this was a thing. But apparently, it's some kind of a rising trend. And so with that being said, and the whole purpose of the app to offer spiritual guidance, the main thing that I want to touch on is how Esau Edom is creating his technology, starting with his AI, to be God. And that's something that we've been saying for a very long time. I'll say at the very least within the past few years. But hell, that's been a long time. But Esau is trying to make you have a connection to his technology versus you having a real connection with God. Because everybody knows that you can get down on your knees and you can pray to the Lord, and you should develop from there a personal connection with the Most High. But Esau says, look what we have to offer. We have AI. And all it's doing is spitting back at you some verses, of course, and maybe offering some kind of advice from the verse that it gives you. I don't know. Either way, what it's going to do is it further pushes your mind into thinking that technology is the answer. AI is the answer. And you're not really getting your answer from God versus AI is telling you what you want to hear, what you need to hear. It's giving you that advice. So now you go to the app, you ask a question, you get an answer. You go and you do something and you're like, oh my gosh, it worked. I can't believe the app. That's what people are going to start saying. I can't believe this technology. So Esau is making people worship him by worshiping his technology. It's not about seeking the Most High. You got to keep in mind, this man always has ulterior motives. And that's why I want to start here in the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And I'm going to read verses 3 and 4. It says, let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away. Oh my gosh. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. Jeez. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that's talking about Esau Edom, so-called white, Caucasian, European man, whatever. Verse 4 says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. So he exalts himself. He puts himself on a pedestal. Or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So Esau is putting himself at the forefront of life and creation. He's saying, worship me. And what he's doing is he's saying, look, we're trying to replace God. There is no more God in the heavens, this guy in the clouds, from what they say, their perspective. They're saying, look, technology, AI, that is the new God. And we're not making it up. They've said that before out of their own mouths. Now we can see it. Now we see it with this app. You let time go on, 10 years later, maybe not even that. The app is going to change and it's just going to be them giving you advice and that's it. We've updated the app and added new features. We've took away the verses. Watch. People get used to the app so they keep it. You know Esau works in the process of gradualism. He would do something like that because he sees himself as God and he wants that to be known. I'm going to jump to the Apocrypha now. Let me throw this away. And I'm going to read this in the book of, oh, you know what? I'll make that the last verse that I get. Lord's will, I want to grab Revelation 3 and 20. because I believe I mentioned it already. Verse 20 says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me." What is this referring to? It's a metaphor or an analogy. The door is talking about your mind. The Lord knocking represents when you pray, of course, he hears your supplication. He hears your supplication. He answers your prayers. That's all this verse is going into. And what happens is you develop a personal relationship with the Lord. You see how he works in your life. You ask him for something and he delivers it to you. It may not be on your timeline. It may not be exactly how you wanted it to be delivered. But if the Lord is working in your life, you see it and you get the answer. And what that should do is it should increase your faith. It should strengthen your spirit, so on and so forth. You don't need an app for that to happen. Now, with that being said, I wanted to end off with this verse because sometimes you do have to seek out advice from different individuals. Depending on what you're going through, you do need counsel, and nothing is wrong with that. And there are certain men that are ordained to be able to give that. And that's why humbly, I'm saying we make these type of videos. We make videos weekly. We go out to the highways, and majority of the time we're talking about things that pertain to salvation, which could still relate to your, and it still does, relate to your everyday personal walk in this faith. Because the things that you're doing now are going to be significant in the time of Jacob's trouble. The way you're leading your life now is going to all add up to who you are in Jacob's trouble. So this is Ecclesiasticus. I want to get right to the point, verses 3 and 4. It says, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, talking about certain men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies, leaders of the people by their counsels, and by their knowledge of learning, meet for the people, meaning helpful for the people. Wise and eloquent are their instructions. You have a question, you drop it on the comment board. Lord willing, it gets answered. If not right then, the next day, the next week, at some point in time, maybe a video comes out and you get your question answered. If not, maybe the Lord shows you the answer in your personal life, or you come across a different video that happens to give you the answer. Who knows, right? That's all a part of the Lord supping with you, and you see how he does it personally for you. Some brothers say they throw up prayers and then they're driving in the car and then a vehicle drives by and it has like 144 on it or 777. And that helps confirm a thought or a prayer that they just threw up. Certain things like that. It's your job, basically, to see how the Lord is working with you in your life. It's your job to reach out if you're able to. Ask certain questions. If you have, if there's a man of the Lord somewhere in your circle, ask a question. Seek out advice. Seek counsel. Right? Because the Most High is working through these certain men. Esau wants you to say, look, come to me for advice. Come to my technology, my AI, for advice. Because he sees himself as God. But that's it. That's the last precept I wanted to bring out, Lord willing. This was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Achak Wadash. Shalom.